the hands of the doomsday clock forward, largely, though not exclusively, because of the mounting dangers in the war in Ukraine. We moved the clock forward the closest it has ever been to midnight. It is now 90 seconds to midnight.
Nuclear risks increased significantly last year, due largely to Russia's unprovoked invasion of Ukraine. Putin has repeatedly raised the specter of nuclear use. In launching the invasion, he warned that whoever tries to hinder us should know that Russia's response will be immediate and will lead to consequences you have never faced in your history. A few days later, he ordered Russia's nuclear forces to special combat duty. In announcing the annexation of Ukrainian territories in September, Putin declared that he would defend them with all weapon systems available to us.
I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash, that will honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, blessings, salutations to you, sincere Akim out there, pushing the truth across the four corners of the earth. And they say it's 90 seconds to midnight to destruction, all right, which, like the scriptures say, their inward thought. First it says their inward thought is that the houses will go on forever, but then it says the enemy cometh like a lion, seeing they have but a short time. Right? And these Edomites, they're seeing their empire slow down. They're seeing everything come to a halt. They're seeing the word of the Lord has gone forth to the four corners of the earth, and the Israelites are waking up, and they're panicking. They're panicking. This is the quietest that they've been. You know what I'm saying? They're planning shit. They're doing stuff behind the scenes. I was just talking to a brother earlier about that. You got a lot of elders and a lot of, the elders and older men are all saying that as well. We're coming very close to the end. We're coming very close until the final moments of this kingdom. All right? This is the part of the dream where that stone comes out of heaven and shatters the statue. All right? The end of these heathens ruling over us, the end of wickedness and this present evil world, and time for heaven to come up on earth. All right, but I just had a couple of scriptures, because the scriptures say they say it's 90 seconds to midnight. All right, this is Psalms 91. Follow me. All right, and verse 3: surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. Which we know a pestilence, man, are those missiles. It's gonna affect the entire earth. Right? It talks about it in 2 Ezra 5. It's gonna make those waters bitter. That radioactivity. That what does it say? Fire not blown. I can get that one next. But it says, he shall cover thee with his feathers. And ultimately, there's no getting away unless the Lord is with you. There's no running. There's no hiding. There's no bunkers. There's no living out in the woods or whatever cute idea you think you got. If the Lord is not with you, you won't make it. All right, it says, he shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shall thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in destruction, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. So really it's noonday. All right, it's noonday really. Like I said, they shall grope at noonday. All right, because here it is, you have this truth, you have this light, all right, that's going forth. And these morning stars on the earth. You have this morning star which is about to return. All right, talking about Yahweh Shai. All right, and our people are still lost. They still don't see the signs. They don't see these people are panicking. Okay, here just a quick, economic update. Right, they even talking about some of the federal workers and postal workers about to lose a certain portion of their pension, right? Because a lot of that money, is tied into these banks who, they use the money of the guys coming into the door, and then they pay the guys leaving out of the door. It's, really a giant racket. Right? The entire banking industry is based on fraud. Right? And America's starting to crumble, man. They need somebody to buy that debt. Right? They need to lock this place down so they can do their they can make their final move. All right, and that's what the recent events of the past couple of years has been. All right, C19, where they control what goes on your face. They control the people more because the wicked are in rulership. All right, and this is prophesied. This kingdom of clay and stone. This is the final kingdom before heaven. All right, 1,000, verse 7, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. All right, and that's one of the pleasures, the thing that pleases the Lord, man, for you to see the fall of your enemies. All right, and that's something that the elect is going to see. They're going to stand on that sea of glass. They're going to stand above the firmament. They're going to be able to see the destruction of Esau, Edom. All right, like they just showed. Look, it's about that time to go to war. It's about that time to shoot that arrow to the other side of the earth. All right, but we're not going to be afraid, man. We're not afraid of destruction in this place. We're not afraid of prison. We're not afraid of any of that because we know the Lord is with us. All right, and the Lord is going to bless the elect through whatever conflict or whatever trials that they have to endure. All right, we already going through it. All right, that's what it tells you that, man. Some of us are going to go before magistrates and give an honest account. All right, and the Spirit ultimately is going to guide, the elect through all of these conflicts. They're going to have that mark on them. All right, yep. Job 20:26. All darkness shall be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. And that's what that technology is. Behold, I've created the smith. All right, it's the splitting of the atom. Boom, and they can harvest that technology. That they are that man sitting on that red horse with that sword. All right, they've been given that certain power to create destruction. You got this movie that's about to come out, Oppenheimer. Lord willing, I'm gonna try to catch that one. And I know it's funny because talking about the Manhattan Project, they actually took some of those pieces and buried them over back in St. Louis. They buried them underground. They had black people swimming in the creek, not too far from it. And a lot of them are just now getting cancer and dying from that stuff. And I know somebody who actually perished because of that. All right, so Esau, Edom, you got a lot to pay for. You got all kind of shit in the man. And this is Proverbs 26:27. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him. All right, you dug a pit. You created this trap for us. All right, the prey departeth not. They've kept us here. They've kept us in a low state. All right, but the Lord has been with us, and he's going to give us the power to defeat and to rise up over these base, wicked, lowly, cowardly, putrid, disgusting men. All right, we're in that season of Purim right now. All right, and we know that Haman, because ultimately, what does it say, Esther 7:10, so they hanged Haman on the gallows that he had prepared for Mordecai. Then was the king's wrath pacified. All right, like we just read, that sword is going to turn on them. All right, that very technology that they created and designed for them to have rulership over the earth. Now the two top empires who possess that, the two top empires, Russia, all right, and whatever other country, because the scriptures say they shall hate the whore, so it's going to be more countries who point their missiles toward America and burn her with fire. All right, this is the time that talks about in Revelation, the feet of the bear. All right, man, the scriptures are beautiful. All right, they really thought that they could rule the earth through violence, through bloodshed, through lies, and now the Lord is turning that back on them. All right, and usually, just like in every other time, Esau and his kingdom, they start to get into financial woes and troubles. They go to war. All right, but this time the earth is locked down, man. It's a lot of alliances. Russia's allied closely with a lot of Middle Eastern countries. They can't use that angle. All right, China is starting to push in their region. All right, which, ultimately fuck all these other nations, but I'm just giving you a map of what's going on. All right, China is pushing, in the South China Sea, and pushing out through Asia. These other countries are rising up. Elam, their country has like a $1 billion economy or something. And this place, meanwhile, is waning and waning. It's getting weaker and weaker. What you notice when it talks about the Romans, it talks about that they became, one of the reasons they became great was because they had silver and gold. I believe that's in the Maccabees. They found a lot of silver and gold. And one of the things that made this place great, like the scriptures say, it would be as the Garden of Eden before them, and in a wasteland after. Right, this place had a lot of natural resources. All right, this place had a lot of natural resources. This in the Midwest, fur trading, because this is where they purchased, where the Louisiana purchased. But fur trading, all right, turkeys and all the trees, wildlife, and they were able to take that stuff and sell it and send it worldwide. All right, but back on the point, because one of the things that Haman actually does too, mentioned in Purim, Haman, it mentions, see Esther 3:1. After these things did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite. All right, when you look up the Agagites, they go back to the Amalekites. They go right back to the Amalekites. And who can we trace also to the Agagites? Let me see. And the Macedonians. Alexander the Great. And it also tells you, in addition to Esther 16 and 10, so for Haman, a Macedonian, the son of Hammedatha, being indeed a stranger from the Persian blood and far distant from our goodness, and as a stranger received up of us. So it actually shows you how those Amalekites, sent him to try to, to take over, which that's what he tried to do. Ultimately, he ended up being hung in the gallows. But then we know that the Greeks eventually come and they take the Persians down anyway. All right, Alexander the Great, also coming from Macedonia. He's the son of Philip of Macedonia. All right, so, and then it's another one that says Alexander, and once again, Haman, Agag, they're both the links between him and the Amalekites. All right, and we know who the link between Alexander and Amalek, the Amalek is. excuse me, rather, you know who is the link to Alexander. Let me say it like that. Right? These so-called Edomites today. Right? These CAUCASIANS. Right? These people from the Caucasus Mountains. Right? And they love to brag on Alexander. Oh, he's Alexander the Great, and nothing great about him. He was a sodomite. All right, but anyway, staying on the lesson, Salaki, I'm all over the place. But yeah, man, this is the time that we're in. All right, because like I said, these countries, they're all trying to formulate groups and grouping up and seeing, like it says in the prophecy, are thou become as weak as we? Right? And that's one of the things that made these people great, is they were able to pretend to be us. Right? They were able to put on our mantle and try to pretend that they were always righteous and that they were always the true children of the Lord, and that this book was made for them. And now it's being shown, nah, that's not true at all. Right? It's being shown that they follow the Talmud, which is completely contrary to the scriptures. Right? It promotes all kind of filth and debauchery in it. All right, so that those gallows, they were set, to destroy us. Cursed is he that hangeth on a tree. And guess what? Now you guys are going to hang. Now you guys are going to go to war against each other. Now your kingdom is split and it cannot stand. All right? And that's all I had through the Spirit, man, because that's all you see at these WF meetings and this meeting and that group and this group. And just last year, we just watched something that we had never seen, man. We watched these people wiggle and get weak and get mad because somebody embraced the idea that they were an Israelite. Like, that was the main message, regardless who did it or, what they started to do after they were pressured. But they did declare who they were, a son of Jacob. And then these people went on the rampage and went, straight to the courtroom. Oh my gosh, you have to pay millions of dollars to this organization and come to this museum, and them gallows are waiting for y'all. All right, that's why the scriptures say, man, be not envious of the wicked, nor choose any of his ways. And all of our people who did convert to Greek and stayed Greek, it wasn't profitable for them. Who sold out, it never works out. Still ain't worked out. And it didn't work out at the beginning, it ain't worked out in any part, and it won't work out. All right, they had Idris Elba at the damn WEF meeting. And he just talked, not understanding, nigga, they're using you, you know what I'm saying, to try to show that, hey, hey, Mordecai, he refused to bow to Haman, man. We refuse to bow to these people. No, we're bringing the truth about you. We're going to keep doing so. It is what it is. All right, we know your history. We know who you are. We know how you've operated. We know how you're going to operate. The Lord has given us understanding of the former things and the things that are to come. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash.